Good afternoon all. So, with regard to the 9th standard syllabus, all these years till 8th you have been learning as social science. When we teach social science as a subject, you have had 3 different subjects coming under social science. One is history, the other one you call it as the social and political life or civics, and the third one that is geography. 9th standard, you will be learning 4 different subjects: history, geography, democratic politics. You don't call it as civics, it is democratic politics. Everything is contemporary, that is the present day. And the next one is economics. So I thought I would start from a simple chapter, then go to history, and then maybe one chapter each. So the first chapter is India, size and location. See, I think it is not a new chapter. You have learned part of it in class 6. Don't know whether you are remembering the contents of what you learned in 6th. So the topics we are going to learn under India, size and location are India's location, its size, India and the world neighbors. I'll just give you an introduction regarding the chapter. Again, we are recalling what you learned in 6th standard. In history, you have learned the chapter Indus Valley Civilization. So one of the oldest civilization had its birth in India. We call it as the Mohenjo-daro civilization or the Harappan civilization or the Indus Valley civilization. It was a remarkable civilization. Let us not go to the, just if you are in a nutshell or in brief, if you are talking about Indus Valley civilization, it was really remarkable. With well developed, they had a well knit development in the field of what you call as science, medicine. They did have dance. They maintained they had the great bath, one of the most important features of Indus Valley civilization. It looked like a modern swimming pool. They had all the houses, the construction of the houses. It had underground draining. Then they had the broad roads, each road cutting at right angles, covered drainage system, which we do not have even today in our cities. So we should be proud when we say we belong to India. So the first chapter is we should know the size and location, between which latitudinal extent is India located and between the longitudinal extent. So after India achieved her independence in 1947, she saw multifaceted socio-economic progress. A remarkable progress was made in the field of agriculture, in the field of technology, and overall economic development. So in all walks of life, India has seen a tremendous progress. So such a country, we are going to start with India's location. Again, recalling what you have learned in 6th standard, we have learned the imaginary lines, parallels, what you call as the parallel lines. You call it as the latitude parallels and the parallel lines are called the latitudes, and the vertical lines are called the longitudes. Latitudes are imaginary lines drawn from west to east in the globe of India, and longitudes, they are vertical lines drawn from north to south. All countries which lie and 0 degree latitude, you call it as the equator, which divides the earth, the world into two equal halves, or you say the globe. All countries which are situated above the equator, you call it as the northern hemisphere, and all those countries below the equator, you call it as the southern hemisphere. So obviously, equator being a latitude, first let us see the latitudinal extent of, so India lies in the northern hemisphere because it is above the equator. So let us see what is the latitudinal extent of India. It lies between 8 degree 4 minute north latitude and 37 degree 6 minute north latitude. Just a minute, children. I had already WhatsApped you that when you are listening to my class, you will have the atlas or the textbook and follow my class. Since I am not able to see you, it is only a video class, I make it very clear that some of the lessons should have your atlas. Even if it is history, whether you need it or not, please make it a point to have your atlas. And with regard to geography, at least you have your textbook. So the latitudinal extent, if you see in the map of India, between 8 degree 4 minute north latitude and 37 degree 6 minute north latitude. Coming on to the longitudinal extent, you have the 0 degree longitude drawn from north to south, that is called as a prime meridian in the world map of India. All countries towards the right of 0 degree longitude or the prime meridian, you call it as the eastern hemisphere, and all those lying to the left of prime meridian, you call it as the western hemisphere. So whether India is in the eastern hemisphere or western hemisphere, it is in the eastern hemisphere. So the longitudinal extent, it lies between 68 degrees 7 minutes east longitude and 97 degrees 25 minutes east longitude. So every time when we talk about the latitudinal and longitudinal extent, it lies in between these two, it is easy to locate the country immediately. Let us see what are the important latitudinal lines when we are learning geography. The 0 degree equator, Tropic of Cancer, that is 23.5 degree north latitude, Tropic of Capricorn, 23.5 degree south latitude. Then comes the 66.5 degree north latitude, 66.5 degree south latitude. Then you have the northern pole and the southern pole. You have learnt in, I think 7th, the heat zones accordingly in between these latitudes, There is a latitude which divides India into almost two equal halves, and that is the Tropic of Cancer, 23.5 degree north latitude. If you take the southeastern part of India, on the southeastern part in the Arabian Sea, you have two groups of islands, that is one Latitudinal island. On the north southeastern part, you have another two group of islands, Andaman and Nicobar Islands in the Bay of Bengal Sea. Now before we pass on to the size, I think in 6th standard, the first thing or even in lower classes, what are the four natural boundaries of India? Immediately, the teacher, even without an atlas or a map, we say Himalayas in the north, Indian Ocean in the south, Bay of Bengal in the east, and Arabian Sea in the west. This is how we, with the just up, down, right side of your hand, left side of your hand. This is how we teach when we are in smaller classes, I still remember. So these are the four natural boundaries of India, and you have let us come to the size of India. India is the seventh largest country in the world with an area of 3.28 million square kilometers. The land boundary, that is within all the country states, the land boundary totally it is 15,200 kilometers. And since India is flanked by the Indian Ocean in the south, Bay of Bengal in the east and Arabian Sea in the west, India has the longest coastline. So the total length of the coastline, including that of Andaman and Nicobar Islands and the Lakshadweep, is 7,516.6 kilometers. Now next part, I told you the northern, north, south, east, west. If you talk about the northern part, you have the Himalayas. It is bound by the northern part, the northwestern part. When I say northwestern part, it includes Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan, Gujarat, part of Gujarat. All these are bound by the young-fold mountains. You have the Vindhyas, you have the Himalayas, the stretch of Himalayas, and even Satpura ranges. I told you 23.5 degree north latitude above equator. So 23, then you have 22. Around 22 degree north latitude, by then India's size starts tapering towards south. Tapering means narrowing down towards south. And as it narrows down and the southernmost part, it is surrounded by, the natural boundary is Indian Ocean. It has two parts, one is the Arabian Sea on the west and Bay of Bengal in the east. So north Himalayas, south Indian Ocean, east the stretch is from Assam to Gujarat. Assam in the east to Gujarat in the west. Actually speaking, the extension of India from east to west is smaller compared to the extension from north to south. That is from the Himalayas to Kashmir, that is Kanyakumari. The extension is quite big compared to that of the extension from Gujarat in the west to Assam in the east. Now we have to know, being such a big country with 29 states, how do we calculate the time? The longitude, that is 82.5 degree, or you call it as 82 degrees 30 minutes east longitude. So you know which is prime meridian. Prime meridian is the 0 degree longitude. All those latitudes towards the right side of prime meridian. So count 1, 2, 3 up to 82. You can see it marked in your atlas. 82, 30 minutes. You that apostrophe like comma on the top of that digit, it should be read as 30 minutes. It is taken as a standard meridian of India as it passes through Mirzapur in Uttar Pradesh. So whatever time it is in Mirzapur, that time is taken as the standard time for the whole of India, and hence it is given the name Indian Standard Time or the IST. Okay. Why do we need an Indian Standard Time or IST? Arunachal Pradesh in the east and you have Gujarat in the west. There is a time difference of 2 hours between Arunachal Pradesh and Gujarat. Suppose the sun rises at 5 o'clock in the morning in Arunachal Pradesh. It is only at 7 a.m. that sun rises in Gujarat. Why? Because sun rises in the east first. Since Arunachal Pradesh is in the east, it sees the sunrise earlier, and so there is a time lag of 2 hours between the two. So this latitudinal extent from Arunachal Pradesh, this influences the duration of day, and that is why there is a time that latitudinal extent. It brings about a difference of, that is a duration, a difference in the duration of day and night, and also as it moves from the longitude from north to south, latitudinal extent from north to south. I think I have that it's a very small chapter. Let me, before my conclusion, since 9A, I am not new to the students. I have been handling class for them in 8A. 9B, I don't know, not much, I should use the word, anything about you. So, I request all the students to listen to the class, view the video class and listen to it carefully. Follow it both with your textbook and your atlas, because I will not be repeating the chapters what I am teaching now. 2. If you have bought notebooks already, or if you have last year's notebook, you please do not go out at all in the name of buying classwork or homework. If you have it, please keep it ready with you. After I finish 4, there is 1 each. Then I will tell you what you have to do. 2. This is a word to both the parents and the students. Till 8th, all of you have passed, and 9th standard, the syllabus is heavy with 4 different subjects. Language is tough, and most of you do not have a good comprehending capacity with regard to English. I request all the parents, and afterwards please don't say that social science alone my child is not scoring, they are scoring in maths. See, maths and science, there are teachers to take tuitions. Here only social science teachers can help you, and when we are ready to help you, I expect the fullest cooperation from both the parents and the teachers. I mean students. And once this is put in the YouTube, I'll send the link. Please just give a reply whether you have got the link and whether you have seen the link. See, viewed and listen to the class. The next part of it, for you I will be taking only thrice a week, Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays. Because 10th I am taking 5 days, for you that's more than sufficient. So Monday, Wednesday. The next class will be on Wednesday, and after this lesson will be completed on Wednesday. So be with your parents, enjoy this time. At the same time, please do not go outside, stay quarantined at home. Learn to play the old games like cards. You have your carom board, indoor games, instead of sitting with your mobile or TV. And a word to the parents, please, this is the time for you to monitor your children, what they are doing. You can give them extend all your help to see that they develop, they read, just not by hearting. And one more thing, it's a clear-cut instruction for the students and request to the parents. I want all of you to read the newspaper every day, and just the main headings alone. You will have a book separately for that. Till we open a day, you should have at least one page of the news what you have read. So it is mandatory. It might be a book called, that is, it might be an assignment or a project in the form of portfolio or whatever. The CBSE keeps changing the name very often. So have a good day. Thank you, and we'll see you on Wednesday.